everyone, welcome back to my channel. First of all, I'd like to thank you for tuning back in and for watching this video. As promised, I am back with 3 more exercises and their modifications so that you can pick whichever modification works the best for you. These 3 exercises are common to yoga and Pilates, and for those of you who didn't know this before, Pilates is influenced by yoga as well as ballet and aerobics. So it's not uncommon to find similar exercises in both. These 3 exercises are Pilates moves, but are also mentioned in this yoga book, which is Asana Pranayama Mudra Bandha by the Bihar School of Yoga. I'll be putting the details of this book in the description box for those of you interested. And the 3 exercises we'll do today are the leg raises, which is Padottanasana, the one leg circle, which is the leg rotation in yoga, also known as the Pada Chakrasana. And then we will do the single leg stretch in Pilates, which is Supta Pawanmuktasana in this book. Now, the contraindications for these exercises mentioned in this book are any recent abdominal surgeries, any serious issues with the back, slip disc for example, sciatica, or any other health concerns like heart conditions or any other medical concerns. Please visit and consult a doctor before starting with these exercises. But of course, if you've had a recent surgery or have any injuries, please don't practice these exercises. All right? Great. Now, if you haven't watched my previous video as yet, the Pilates for Beginners video, please do have a look, because I have explained 2 principles that we'll be using today, which is the Pilates breathing and the concept of neutral spine and imprint. So if you're not familiar with those, watch that video and then join me back in this video. All right, let's get started. We are going to start in a supine position. Now, just a quick note, if you're seated, you always want to transition safely. So hold on to the backs of your thighs and then start to round through the back by activating the core. And we're going to lower down 1 vertebra at a time, taking it nice and slow. Kissing the lower back onto the mat, the mid back, and then the upper back. And once we're here, we want to elongate the back. Lift the hips if you can and draw them a little closer to your heels, and then lift the shoulders and the head and draw them a little closer to the edge of the mat. Great. So let's begin with the first exercise, which is leg raises. Arms by the sides, nice and long. The first modification I will show will be with the leg bent. Okay, so just for a little support, we're going to keep the left leg bent. Inhale, expanding through the sides of the ribs. Nice big inhale, and with the exhale, activate the core. So draw the belly button in and up, draw the ribs in together. Think of drawing the hip bones in towards the center and imprint the spine. Once we have our core nice and strong, we're going to slide the right foot away. Great. So beginning with the leg raise. Now, we're going to keep the core nice and strong, keep the rest of the body nice and stable, and lift the right leg only as high as is comfortable to you, and then exhale, lower down. So if you remember, inhale through the nose, expand through the sides of the ribs, exhale through the mouth, draw the ribs in together. So keeping this core nice and strong. If you feel your lower back starts to kick in, that means you've gone too far and you need to reduce the range of motion. Take a smaller movement. You don't have to go as high as I'm going. But of course, if your core is pretty strong and you think you can go a little higher, then you increase the range of motion. If keeping this right leg straight is too much for you, you can bend the knee slightly. That's fine as well. So you'll feel that activation in the core, but you'll also feel your thigh muscles working here. And what we want to watch out for is the hips moving. All right, so we want to disassociate the leg from the pelvis. The pelvis stays nice and stable. The hip bones are facing the ceiling, and it's just the leg moving. All right, now we're going to move on to the other side. So we're going to bend the right knee, bring the foot down, inhale, exhale, imprint the spine and slide the left foot away. Now I'm going to show the second modification on this side. If you feel pretty strong in the core, you can straighten both the legs. So the right leg will be straight this time, and I'm going to lift and lower my left leg. All right? So see what feels better for you. If this doesn't feel comfortable, you always have the option to bend the knee. All right? Another element that you can add to this is the foot movement. So you can point the toes as you lift, flex the foot as you lower down. Inhale, lift and point. Exhale, flex and lower. Now what this does is that it activates different muscles in your legs. If you flex, you'll feel a nice stretch in the backs of your legs, right? So if this is too much for you, you can even skip it and keep your foot the way it's comfortable to you. Great. And then bend that knee, bring both your feet onto the mat. So you can do about 10 to 15 repetitions on each side. Let's move on to the leg rotations or the one leg circle. Same thing, we're going to start with one leg bent, and we're going to lift the other leg up, high up towards the ceiling. Right, now inhale here, exhale, imprint, nice and strong core, and make circles with the leg. Imagine drawing a circle with your toes. Now, same thing, we don't want the hips to be dancing around, all right? We want to keep them nice and stable. It's just the leg moving. Again, you can bend the knee a little if that's more comfortable for you, all right? The core is engaged. The hip bones are not moving. Reduce the range of motion if you feel your hips are dancing around, all right? And then you reverse the circle. So you can do about 10 repetitions in one direction and then 10 more in the opposite direction. Now, if you're wondering how the breath should be, I'm going to show it to you with the other leg. So we're just going to bend this knee back to that 90-degree angle and lower down. Again, you can do this with the opposite leg extended if you think your core is nice and strong and your lower back is not kicking in. I'm going to demonstrate it this way on this side. Again, you can bend the knee here or keep it straight. Now, you're going to inhale to cross the leg over your midline and exhale to complete the circle. So it's inhale, half of the circle, exhale, the other half. Now watch for any choppy movement. You want to create nice and smooth circles. And think of an oily joint. If you're unable to find that smooth circle, maybe you need to reduce the range of motion. So after doing about 10 repetitions in this direction, we'll switch and draw circles in the opposite direction. And like I said, you can increase the range of motion. You can go a little lower, make bigger circles as long as your hips are not moving. So you want to stabilize your pelvis. All right, let's do 2 more here. And then come back to center, bend that knee and bring it back. Bring the foot back to the floor. Great. So these were one leg circles. The last one we will do is the one leg stretch or the single leg stretch. Now for this, we're going to once again keep the knee bent if that is more comfortable, or you can straighten the left leg. I'm going to show it to you both ways. Now for this exercise, we're going to bring one knee towards the chest and then switch. So inhale, expand through the sides of the ribs. Exhale, draw the ribs in, belly in. Draw the opposite knee towards your chest. And come back to center and switch. So for breathing in Pilates, we don't use the breath as a rule. we use it as a guide, as a tool. So use your breath as a tool to keep your core nice and connected. And Pilates was also known as Contrology before it changed its name, because all the movements that we do in Pilates are nice and controlled. All right, so you want to keep your awareness here. So let me show this to you with the leg extended. So the left leg is extended. I'm going to draw my knee towards the chest. My shoulders are away from the ears. My back is nice and long. My neck is long. Exhaling here. And I'm going to switch, keeping that core active, to the other side. And switch. Now, I would recommend you stick to this if you're still new to this. And if you have any injuries in the neck or the shoulders, of course you will avoid doing this next modification. But for those of you who want to go ahead and try this next progression, you can. So when I'm bringing one knee towards my chest, I'm going to inhale, exhale, lift the head and the shoulders. So this adds a little bit more of an activation in the core, and I'm keeping that chin away from my chest. I'm not cramming my chin into my chest. The back of my neck is long. Shoulders away from my ears. And then I'm lowering everything down and then switching over to the other side. And switch. So once again, keep it nice and controlled. Keep all those cues in mind. With the exhale, you're drawing the ribs in, the belly button in, and release. Good. Bring back your feet to the mat. Bring the knees together. Let your lower back relax. Let go of any tension there. Come back to your neutral spine so you have that little gap under the lower back. Take a couple of breaths. And then I'm just going to roll over to one side and lift myself back up to a seated position. Great job. So if you followed me through this video, thank you for watching once again. I hope that this was useful. Please do leave a comment below. Do leave a like on this video if you liked it. Do share it with anybody who would be interested. And please subscribe to my channel so that you get to see more of such videos. Thank you very much for watching.